Hey guys, and welcome to Economics and Comics, the sickest comic book channel in the universe. If you guys like this type of stuff, please make sure to hit that subscribe button and don't forget to turn on your notification bell. Let's get into it. Back to Economics and Comics. I'm here with Joel and Mike Massey from GoneWithTheTwins.com. We just got done seeing Detective Pikachu. For all you Pokemon Go freaks out there and everything else, Detective Pokemon and everything Pokemon, we saw it. Here we go. By the way, if you want to check out the written review, please go to GoneWithTheTwins.com. And if you like this video, please sub and throw me a like. So what do you guys think?
Well, you want to first probably say that this is going to be a spoiler review, right?
It's either it's going to be a spoiler review. Me and Joel, or Joel and I, we play Pokemon Go. Spoiler right there.
Ooh, that's not something you would admit on camera.
So we don't care. I don't care. So we play. So we're expecting some goodies,
Yeah.
and they didn't let down on that part. But besides that,
Yeah, I mean, as far now, I've never played any of the actual Game Boy games or the Wii games or anything like that. But I think just seeing how they've translated these 2D sprites, 3D sprites that you're used to seeing on your phone or on a video game system to the big screen is really fascinating. And I didn't mind at all. I know there was early backlash about the way Pikachu looked and everything, but I didn't mind it at all. I thought they did a really, just generally creative job of the way they, put it onto the big screen. All of the different monsters looked great, and I had no complaints there.
It's a little interesting that Pikachu has fur. Right?
Yeah,
which was
that was one
of
of the early complaints. Is people you don't expect that.
Yeah,
but.
yet there's other Pokemon that don't have fur, so
Yeah.
they totally had the option of making him smooth skin, like the lick
Yeah, well,
tongue or
I think
it was.
I think the reasoning is that he's based on a mouse, so mice have fur, so that's the reason that they decided to give him fur.
I thought he was a rabbit.
Nope, he's a.
They
he's a
sure
mouse.
he does rabbit things.
Yeah, his name Pikachu actually comes from the Pika and Chu, Chu meaning mouse in Japanese. It's a kind of a slang for a mouse, and Pika means electricity. So, or it's the sparking noise of so he's an electric mouse. That's what he.
What's funny is though, like he almost hops around and runs around like.
Yeah, I mean they're all
like
kind
rabbit.
of like morphs of different animals.
Yeah.
But,
Well, anyway.
and of course he's voiced by Ryan Reynolds, which I thought was pretty funny. They did a lot of really clever things with the way.
I think the first time I heard the voice, it was a little jarring.
Yeah,
Like a lot of things that you have in your mind, a different idea of what it's going to sound like. But it grew on me very quickly, I think is what I'm trying to say there. After the first 2 or 3 lines of dialogue, I just started accepting that.
Well, also the film
voice
opens seeing Mewtwo escaping from a laboratory, and I believe Mewtwo speaks the first time you see him. He causes a car crash, and he speaks to the people getting out of the car wreck. But so yeah, I think the idea of Pokemon speaking isn't so abrasive, especially when they start like that.
Well, they do normally speak, but they only say like Pikachu, or they they only say
throughout the rest of the film, all of the other ones only say their names or make animal noises basically. But
there's an accident. Mewtwo shows himself, and it's the father of this young kid who does not have a Pokemon.
Yeah.
And so, everyone else does, but there's a city. It's almost like Roger Rabbit.
Yeah, Who Framed Roger Rabbit is a clear
or
influence.
Zootopia is what I immediately thought of.
So there's a separate city where they come together, Pokemon and humans, and they live together and work together. So the kid goes there to collect his dad's belongings, who he's never really even known his whole life. He decided to live with his mother or grandmother, and he's going there and becomes immersed in this whole new world. And the thing for you guys is, the world is great. For like 20, 30 minutes, I would say, I was like, oh, there's a Bulbasaur, there's a Lickitung, there's a Charizard, it was really cool.
What they did is they created, so basically a character named Howard Clifford, who's played by Bill Nye, he has created a city called Rhyme City, and it is specifically where humans and Pokemon can kind of coexist, because out in the wild or in other places, the Pokemon are kind of like wild animals, and they used to have them fight in battles and everything. So in Rhyme City, everybody's supposed to be kind of like cohabitating.
It's a place where it's
Safe
peaceful,
zone.
and,
right,
yeah,
where
and they work
people
together and everything like that. So yeah, seeing the city is really cool. I think that was probably the most interesting part of that.
For me, though, after the first 30 minutes of being immersed and being excited because I play the game, Pokemon Go at least, it was downhill from there.
Visually, I think they did it. It's very interesting, but once they start getting to this kind of overwrought, overly complex storyline where they have to basically have to solve a crime, his father dying in this car wreck, basically, and the Pikachu, the detective Pikachu, has amnesia, so he doesn't remember where he's from, and only he can talk to the boy, and the boy can speak to him. So they have to kind of like work together to solve this thing, and it gets pretty.
I was trying desperately as I'm watching it not to compare it to a Scooby-Doo mystery, but as it kept going, I kept thinking, "There's not enough characters in here. It's gonna be a Scooby-Doo mystery."
Yeah.
that
was
kind
a
of
lot
very,
of, like,
that very primitive sort of
the same character you saw a lot of, like multiple. What's the one? The monkey air palm or something? What is it?
Yeah, iPhone.
I mean, they're always together, like multiples. But the interesting part of the movie was though that he could understand Pikachu.
Yeah.
And talk to him, and I guess he was the only person that could do that.
Yep. And of course you get Ryan Reynolds kind of a mile a minute throwing out one-liners and saying silly things.
I felt differently about it. I felt differently. It wasn't like watching Deadpool. It was softer, and I think he played more of a role instead of one-liners. I didn't get all the one-liners that you heard. Maybe once here and there, but not like a non-stop Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, I kind of felt like he's kind of a non-stop throw. Like,
I thought it was
especially he meets.
it's not the level of Daredevil,
yeah.
or I mean Deadpool, but it's definitely.
Well, for example, so Justice Smith plays Tim Goodman, who's the main character, and he meets a reporter played by Catherine Newton, and they have that all as they all do in these kind of movies. They have that awkward like flirting and falling in love sort of thing, and the Pikachu is just like constantly throwing out one-liners and saying silly things while they're trying to have a conversation. So I kind
think
of
maybe once or twice, but I thought he was more of a main character than anything else. Like, they're trying to figure out the case of who may have killed their dad and how Pikachu forgot everything.
Yeah.
And so anyway, moving on, because this is kind of a spoiler one. What happens next? So they're kind of involved. The main guy who created the city, it basically comes down to him trying to live forever, that type of storyline.
Yeah, it gets it goes pretty far out into left field towards the end, but yeah, that's the basic idea. Is he's trying to come up with a way to basically merge Pokemon with humans,
or transfer his mind.
Yeah.
There's a bit of a Get Out, toned down PG version of Get Out.
Yeah, it's true. You're exactly right. It's a PG Get Out with animation or whatever. Yeah. But not as freaky. But there's also this like potion thing that they've created that.
Yeah, that's what leads them on the trail. Basically,
is that something in the game?
No, I think it's created.
It's like a rage potion. Like you put it on, and they rage out and they freak out. And whenever you put that on a Pokemon, it gives you the ability to transfer your mind into them. That we first thought it was a way to anger them.
Yeah. Well, in the movie they initially are using it to kind of pump up the Pokemon to be able to fight each other.
Well, that's what they thought it was for, I think.
So they have that's kind of a fun idea that they have like this underground Pokemon fighting ring or something, because it's in this city. You're not supposed to be doing that with them, but.
Which is normal for most weird movies like this, underground robots or something.
Yeah.
But
while you're watching it, it doesn't feel that weird or anything. But especially toward the end, I think it starts really going out in left field with this strange.
It's a lot of the whole experimenting on Pokemon, and it's the genetic experiments on these alien beings. It's a little weird. It's a little that part to me is not so kid friendly. But
yeah, well, so that this kind of enables them to have some action sequences where they kind of are fleeing from a giant, tortoise and everything, and fighting with the giant frog Pokemon and things like that.
The Pokemon are really funny though. The Mr. Mime scene's pretty.
Yeah, they do.
Pretty strong, pretty funny. What you know what? I wonder if you guys caught this, because you guys are movie critics, and of course I'm not. But it's basically the main bad guy, the guy that created, has successfully transferred his mind into Mewtwo at the end. Okay, and Mewtwo was trying to stop it all, but there's a scene where he's putting gas over the whole city, and like transferring everyone into their Pokemon. It reminded me of Batman, the original.
Oh yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
It was
is that its plot is throwaway. It's derivative of a great number of things. I think the premise merely serves as an excuse to be able to show these three-dimensionalized Pokemon, which is cool for fans. But I think outside of fans, you're going to quickly lose interest because there's just not enough substance to the story to keep your attention.
Even if you're a fan.
Yeah, and that
Honestly.
too. Yeah, I mean, there's some slow spots for sure.
Well, I was interested in in the kind of the process it's taking, but once they start solving things and start figuring out what's actually going on, it started to lose my interest.
Yeah, I mean, the first half an hour, I really would say for me as a Pokemon Go player, I loved it. But man, I usually don't fall asleep. But I almost fell asleep like 4 times because there's some very drawn out, and you're in this world with this little music and these little things, and you're like, yeah, whoa, hey, wait. So it was drawn out.
Yeah, I mean, it is a kids movie, so
Yeah, it is a kid, but
I
it
mean,
doesn't keep them active.
True.
It slows down. A kid wants to be like bonkers, seeing everything. And it's like this slow like thing.
Yeah, you mentioning drawn out. I thought particularly that's relevant to the conclusion because you get this large battle scene and it's chaotic, it's hectic. There's a lot of things going on. But as a non-Pokemon familiar sort of a watcher here, I didn't know what any Pokemon is capable of. I don't know what their moves are. I don't know what Mewtwo is capable of. So this whole battle between Pikachu and Mewtwo, this climactic battle, I didn't really know who had the upper hand, when, where, what his final blow was going to be because they didn't really prep me for it. So I'm sure fans will be.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't even know because they, at one point Mewtwo says to Pikachu, a Pikachu could never defeat a Mewtwo.
Which is ridiculous. Why
well,
are they fighting?
Yeah. I don't know if that can happen, in the games or in this world that they've created here. So yeah.
Well, so in conclusion.
Well, real quick, we're trying to hurry, but the son was trying to find his father, and they don't know where the father is, and Mewtwo took the father's soul or whatever and put it inside of Pikachu, and that's why he could talk to Pikachu. And it was his father's voice. I think it's funny that the kid didn't know his own father's voice.
Yeah.
You ever think about
That's
that?
an absent father.
Yeah. So, but then they split, and now he's his father.
It is an estranged father situation, but it is a little strange not to know
and
your own father's voice.
That conclusion,
especially if your voice sounds like Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, well, and it leaves you with a very strange setup for if they're going to try to do future films. Now Ryan Reynolds is no longer the voice of Pikachu.
Yeah, well, because now Ryan Reynolds is the father.
But
and
he's a star.
The Pikachu is now can't talk anymore. It just says Pikachu.
Well, now they live together and they can go on more adventures. But I think it's going to go a whole nother way. I'm sure this movie is going to do great for children. But for me, I enjoyed seeing the visuals, but they lost me in the story. It's a simple plot for me to follow, but it was drawn out. And I expected more. I wanted more Roger Rabbit craziness, and I got more blah.
They played it safe.
They did play it safe.
Yeah.
What do you guys? That's it. I mean, is that good enough?
Yeah, I mean, I was certainly disappointed because I was expecting. It started fairly strong. I got into the whole, Ryan Reynolds as Pikachu, but then by the time you get to the end, they've kind of undone all of the really interesting things that they set
It is
up.
weird.
So yeah.
So score.
A 9 for a kid and a 5 for me, a Pokemon Go player.
Except you said yourself that even kids might lose interest.
Well, kids are kids. They don't know what's going on.
Well, neither did we.
But if they play the game, I mean, you saw the kids were in there. They had Pikachu hats, and it was fun. If they did you do it in 3D?
I'm not sure.
If they did in the 3D, we probably missed out because that might have changed everything. Then I would have really fell asleep because I would have been fully immersed. But I hope you guys enjoyed. If you want to check out these guys' information at GoneWithTheTwins.com, check out the reviews, leave a comment over there. And if you like this video, please sub. There's plenty more movies coming. Next week we have another one. And I hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you next time. Thanks again, guys.
Thanks so much for having us.
See you later. Hey guys, if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and please subscribe now. Here's a bunch of videos you can choose from to watch next. Thanks again for coming by. From me, Bill at Economics and Comics. Have a great day.